Hey guys, welcome back to Maxim Automation. In our last video of APM tutorial series, we have seen that how to perform swipe gestures on an Android device using APM. We can perform swipes in 4 directions, and we have seen the example of each swipe direction in our last session. And today in this video, we're going to see how to perform other mobile gestures as well, like tap, long press, and drag and drop. Now let's see that how to perform other gestures on mobile device using APM. So this is our application, and let's go inside the views and then click on expandable list. After that, click on customer adapter, and then here you can see the different list items. If I tap on any of the list item, then it expands and shows other sub items. Also, if I long press on any of the item, then it opens the context menu. So to open the context menu, we have to perform the long press operation. Now let's go back to the code and we'll see that how we can perform the tap and long press gesture through APM. So let me remove this code first. And then I'll perform the click operation to move inside the expandable list. After that, we need to click on custom adapter. So I'm adding a click operation for that as well. Now I'm going to write the code to perform the tap and long press operation under the try catch block to catch any exception if occurred during any mobile gestures. So first I'm creating a touch action object, and then we'll pass the WebDriver object by casting the WebDriver object to iPerforms touch actions. After that, we can use the method called tap to perform the tap operation on the device. Tap is pretty much similar operations as click. The difference between these two is that tap method belongs to APM driver class, while the click method belongs to the WebDriver class. Here we have two overloaded methods for tap. So we can perform the tap operation by sending the element, or we can use the coordinates as well to tap on a particular location. This is also the other difference between click and tap. The tap method allows extra option to tap by coordinates, whereas click just works on an element and taps at the center of the element. When we provide the element, then the coordinates values are optional. If you want to tap on any other place which is near to the provided element, in that case, you can provide the offset location of X and Y axis. Here I'm going to pass the element to perform the tap operation. So I'll type WebDriver.findElement by.xpath, and then we'll provide the XPath as android.widget.textView @text equal to fish names. So this will tap on the list item which is having text value as fish name. And then I'll use perform method to perform the operation on the device. Now let's add the catch block to capture the exception and then print the exception to the console. After that, I'm going to perform the long press operation on the sub item of fish names to open the context menu. So to perform the long press operation, we need to again create the object of touch action. And then we need to cast the WebDriver object to iPerform touch action. And then we can use the long press method of touch action to perform these gestures on the device. This method press at the specified location or element until the context menu appears. And again, we have two overloaded methods for this as well. So we can perform this operation either by providing the element, or we can use the coordinates as well to long press on a particular location. So here I'll pass the element on which we want to perform the long press operation, and then use perform method to perform the operation on the device. Now let's run the test to see these gestures performed on mobile device using APM. So execution has started. It clicked on views and now on custom adapter. So you can see that it performed tap on fish name, and then it performed long press on Goldie item. And because of long press, it opened the context menu, which is having two options. One is sample menu and other is sample action. So this is how we can perform the tap and long press operation using APM. Now let's see that how to perform the drag and drop operation on a device. Let's go back to the views option, and then I'll click on drag and drop. Here you can see the objects to perform the drag and drop operation. So we can use these circles to drag and then drop it to any other circles over here. When we drag the object, then it displays the label as dragging. And once we drop it, then it displays the label as dropped. So we can drag and drop a circle object to any other circle object. Now let's go to the UI Automator viewer first to get the property or attribute information, which will help us to identify the element. Here you can see the drag and drop screen in UI Automator. And if I select this circle object, then we can see the attribute resource ID for this element, which is having the value as io.apm.android.apis id/drag.1. So I'll use this attribute to find the element. And if I click on other circle as well, then we can see their IDs also, like drag.2 and drag.3. Also, the class of the object is android.view.view. If you want to create the XPath, then we are going to find the element with class android.view.view, which is having resource ID as the attribute. Now let's go back to the code. To perform the drag and drop operation, we basically need to perform different operations in sequence. So the first operation we need to perform is press, and then pass the element on which we want to press. Let's say that we want to find the element using XPath. Then pass the XPath of the element in by.xpath method. Let me copy the resource ID value of the first circle. After that, let's add wait for 2 or 3 seconds to make it more reliable. And then I'll call move to method to move from one location to another. As I want to drop my element on second circle, so I'll provide the second circle element inside the move to method. After that, I'll call release method to release the touch. And then we'll call perform method to perform all the operations in sequence. So these operations will be performed in sequence as provided, which is gonna mimic the drag and drop operation on the device. Now let's update the code to move to the drag and drop screen. To perform the drag and drop operation, and now let's run the test to see it in action. So the execution has started. Here you can see that it dragged the first circle and then dropped it on second circle. Here it displays the label that it performed the drag and drop operation. So this is how you can perform these gestures on your Android device. Thank you for watching. If you like it, then please hit on like button. And also please subscribe to the channel.